Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the Galaxy S20. Samsung will be revealing this device in San Francisco on February the 11th, so I'm really excited about that. Now, one thing I will say, I am a big Apple user, and I know that may sound kind of strange, simply because I'm also really heavily invested in a lot of Apple products. But here's the thing, I love innovation, and I think now, at this point, I think Samsung is doing an amazing job at pushing innovation forward. You know, I think back to the good old days when the original iPhone came out. I think Apple did a great job of pushing innovation forward when it relates to smartphones. Before then, smartphones were pretty boring. Now, one thing I will say, there's the price that you pay when you're pushing innovation forward, and that kind of evolves around value proposition. You know, I'm a big fan of proven technology, and one of the things I will say is Apple does a really good job today really improving technology that has already been announced and released. You know, I think back to 2011 when Motorola came out with the Motorola Atrix 4G. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably don't even know what that device is, but I think it was a exclusive on AT&T. But at the end of the day, the Atrix was probably one of the first smartphones that have a fingerprint reader. But what Apple did 2 years later, when they announced the 5S in 2013, Touch ID was born, and Touch ID was great, and it's been great ever since. And that's what it's really all about. I look at devices today like the Galaxy Fold and the upcoming S20, and these devices will kind of do the same thing in terms of pushing innovation forward, and Apple will take the technology and somehow make it better. With that said, innovation, it does need software. And the thing is, software really brings hardware to life, but Apple does a really good job of using that software to make its ecosystem run like a well-oiled machine. And that's where a proven ecosystem comes from. On top of that, Apple, they actually, make their hardware and software at the same time, which I think, provides a better experience when you're using their devices. With that said, I know we said we're going to talk about the Galaxy S20, but I want to kind of talk about some of the hardware coming on the Galaxy S20 that I'm excited about. The first thing is that 120 hertz buttery smooth display, smaller hole punch in the display. I think it's going to be similar to the Note 10. One other cool feature is optical zoom side-loaded. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how they implement that. And if it actually really works, I haven't really seen anyone else do that. Larger fingerprint reader. I think it's going to cover the bottom portion of the actual screen, which is going to be kind of cool. I miss my Touch ID. And then, of course, 5G. So a lot of cool stuff coming to the Galaxy S20. Now, to be quite honest, none of that change is my value where, I'm really interested in proven technology and a proven ecosystem. Now, will that value change? I doubt it. Now, who provides that value? I think that could change in terms of who provides that proven ecosystem and hardware. At this point, I don't know. I really don't see myself leaving Apple's ecosystem anytime soon. Particularly, like I mentioned earlier, I am heavily invested in Apple's hardware and software at that. Plus, I have a really solid understanding of Apple's software. And lastly, not to mention, iMessenger and FaceTime. All my friends and family, they use an iPhone. So I think I will be staying put. But one thing I will say is I like the idea of staying put. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the videos QC Dad brings to the table. It really helps me to continue to make these videos for you guys.